Okay, so I'm back and I'm going to talk again about inconsistency because what I find with my clients is I give them all the steps to create their $1 million brand, right? And then we see some sabotage comes in, and how that shows up is patterns of inconsistency. And really what happens is the mind is like, I don't know why. I don't know why I'm not doing these simple things that you've given me to do. And what it is this energy of your not self comes in. The energy of subconscious behavior patterns that show itself as levels of frequency that is your not self. And the not self is really your scared, fearful little girl, inner child inside of you. I can always tell where someone is based, their income doesn't match their level of what they've been doing for their business and doing all the right things, but the income is not matching that. I can always see that there's something going on with the little girl inside, because the little girl in you is truly afraid to create a fuck ton of money. And that sounds counterintuitive, and it sounds like that's not true and all of those things. But the truth is, when we are young, we have experiences around what we see as success, or what we see as, if this works, then that happens, and I don't want that. And your little girl inside of you has created a barrier, a wall around her that will not allow her to get outside of it, because inside that cave, that wall she's created, that barrier, she's safe. So anytime you're pushing your life now as the adult, you know what you want to create all this money and success and impact, this little girl is going to start showing up as temper tantrums, and those temper tantrums will always reveal the not self. So when you're seeing these triggers happen, these temper tantrum type energy states happen, realize that it's your little girl trying to get your attention. The way I work with my clients in the mastermind is we're going to develop a relationship with this little girl, because the little girl is your wealth code, is your key to unlocking that door of money that's right near you. It's like right down the hall. All it takes is a little girl allowing you to get access to this key. And once she does that, everything in your life changes. But she will not do that until you develop a relationship with her, right? And think about your little girl as your own child. How would you treat your own child who's been traumatized, who's been saturated in fear frequency for a long time, right? You would sit with her. You would hold compassion with her. You would tell her that being angry and frustrated and bitter and disappointed is no longer how we're going to do life any longer. And you would help her realize that by your ability to stay consistent with your relationship with her. Every day you want to talk to her. Every day you want to find her. How are you today? Is there anything I can help you with? How can I help you do that more today? What do you need from me? And as this little girl starts to heal all of her anger and her not self, she's no longer traumatized, and she moves into your alignment theme, right? So here's what I recommend. I love to go over this 5-step process every time we hit an income plateau or we hit some kind of a wall. And I'm trying to think of like what other wall I would see other than income plateau. I think income plateau, not wanting to raise prices, wanting to change your offer after you've already assigned your business an offer with your highest self, with your authority, any decision that wants to be changed after it was made through your authority, it's always your little girl showing up and throwing a fucking tantrum. It's actually kind of cute when you think of it that way, because when you're aware of it, you can now be the adult that helps the little girl realize there's nothing to throw a temper tantrum around. There's always room for, let me get you through this. We can both get what we want. So the first thing is acknowledging her and promising to develop a relationship with her every day and never abandoning her, because a lot of what her fear is abandonment. And you can heal that just by doing the simple steps that I'm going to give you now and simple work inside the mastermind. We have a whole book on it. A whole book on everything you need to heal the not self, heal this little girl from running the show of your business and your life, in this workbook. And the workbook gets delivered straight to your door. It is increasingly apparent to us that everybody needs this. And the second thing is to formulate a plan. So every time she gets triggered, anytime here comes another decision and now you want to change your pricing. Someone told you no at $3,000 and now you're going to change your pricing. Formulate a plan like, okay, here came that trigger. I know it really scared you. You want to change your pricing, but what we're really going to do now is we're just going to coddle you and cradle you. And I'm going to ask you, what do you really need, right? It's not she needs the price to be different. She needs something from you. And when she feels more and more supported by you and like you're an advocate for her, she's less likely to throw any temper tantrum and less likely to put you in the not self. And the third thing is accountability, right? You want to get everyone in your family on board with this. You want to tell them, hey, I'm working with this little girl and I'm developing this relationship. So I'd like your help with this. Of course, the people who love you and want you to succeed are always going to get on board with that. And if you do not have someone in your life who can hold you accountable to healing this little girl, then I invite you to come into the mastermind. We are doing this work all day, every day. It's normal to see little girls in temper tantrums, especially when big money is coming. We hold you. We hold space for you. I am capable of holding space for little girls throwing temper tantrums. I have a lot of experience with that. And the fourth thing I want you to do is reassess the trigger. Every time that trigger comes in, it's time to change the price. Somebody told me no, we might not get what we want. It's time to change the price. Do all those things I just said, and then come back in 24 hours and ask her how she's feeling. How are you feeling now that we've done all the things that you told me you needed from yesterday? We've gotten the accountability. We came up with a plan. I'm here for you. I'm doing this every day. How are you feeling now? And the fifth thing is follow-up, continual follow-up, right? So after that reassessment moment, then you want to move into, okay, on Friday, I'm going to come back and I'm going to ask you again how you're feeling. And you want to keep your promise to this little girl, right? Set a reminder on your phone if you have to. That's what I did and it really worked, to remind yourself to go back into the little girl. Now, first, your little girl may not be willing to work with you as quickly and easily. It might not be, this 5-step process may not be something that you can do very easily. She might resist you at first, but that's only because she doesn't know you yet. So this is all about creating a relationship with her. Right now, in the mastermind group, what we're doing is we're identifying little girl temper tantrum patterns, because healing the not self, the attachment that your little girl has to the not self, is how you release the energy of any inconsistency forever. All of those triggers to keep you inconsistent, to keep you changing your prices and altering things in your business, all of that is gone. It's released. Again, I want you to consider applying for the High Frequency Formula Mastermind. We are closing enrollment December 31st, and we're not reopening until sometime next year. But I know, because I've been told, that there are women in my Fractal Line waiting to embody wealth energy and heal the little girl inside of them that has kept them from the door that opens to everything you've ever wanted. And this is the time of year where we use the energy of momentum as we go into New Year's resolutions. We go into the new year with energy of passion for ourselves. The mastermind is how you pour fire on that momentum and keep it going. And we're doing this every week for 6 months. And you can apply at the link below. And I'll see you inside.